Hi Satyajit, how are you?
Hi, Srikanth. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How was your weekend?
Uh, Weekend was good. Yeah, I've got a nagging knee injury, so I have to get it fixed. But other than that, it was good. How was your retreat? I remember you had said you're
Oh,
going.
it was fantastic. We had a ball of a time. Yeah. By the way, I also want to check the status on your pet.
Yeah. I was talking to Ravi about her. She's back. We didn't have to do surgery, so it was all good in the end. But we have had to make some lifestyle shifts to accommodate all of that. But all good now. Thank you.
Satyajit, we have about less than 30 minutes for today. Um, there are few people watching us. I just want to assure you that on their behalf, this conversation will remain confidential.
Mhm.
And this is being recorded. If I decide to use this for uh, other people's learning who are part of my coaching education, then I will seek your exclusive permission to share. In this conversation, if when I'm asking questions, if you're uncomfortable answering certain questions, you can raise your hand and let me know you're not comfortable.
Mhm.
In the meantime, if I feel that we are going off track and there's too much of uh, information being shared which is not relevant, I may also raise my hand and pause and get you back on track. Yeah. So with that, what's that you would like to explore in the time we're together?
So this is my last month in a full-time job, which I've done more than a decade now. Uh, and that job has given me my current lifestyle, a lot of convenience and comfort. I will be quitting that job to start my own online business, where I will, it's a one-person business as I see it, uh, and I will be on my own. So while I've done the math and I have an idea of how long I can last, how long I can last without a paycheck, uh, still there is some amount of discomfort, and that discomfort sort of stems from a certain divergence in my goals. So, on one goal, of course, is that to get back to my current income within a certain number of months, so that there is uh, no big uh, shock to my lifestyle. I have a daughter, we have a house, and so on. So, that is one goal. To make enough money of this solopreneurship. But there is another goal, which is to pursue mastery. I mean, I would say attain mastery, but this is a constant pursuit. And I love to write, and I also write about decision making and sort of personal development. Uh, and on both those fronts, writing and as a trainer or a decision making advisor, and even as a coach, uh, I want to attain mastery. That is a goal that really fills me with energy. But sometimes I feel that those two goals are not aligned, that possibly they could pull me in different directions. They work on different time scales. And when I start thinking about that, about the divergence, it leaves me a little confused, even worried. So that's what I would like to explore today.
So I heard you say two goals. This is the last month in your full-time job. After that, you're going to be in your solopreneurship. How do I get to my current level of income in the new journey that I want to pursue is one, and the other one is I want to achieve mastery in, I heard you say about writing, decision making, and also coaching.
Mm.
And I heard you say you're getting pulled.
Mm.
What is making you feel that way?
On a day-to-day basis, it could be that, say, I'm working only on my business. Right now, I'm working on my website. I'm doing everything from whatever is needed. I'm also working on my ebook. So those are some of them can be very administrative housekeeping tasks, which don't necessarily give me energy, but I do them because they have to be done. Now, if I do them for too long, even on a day-to-day basis, I feel like I'm not enjoying this and I should be whatever reading, writing, learning something. On the contrary, when I'm writing or learning, so like for example, I was working on a long form piece that spent more than 150 hours. This was a couple of months back. By the end of it, I really wanted to finish it, but I was also feeling really guilty that this is keeping away from work that could make me money. Uh, so this is sort of the pull in both directions that happens. Not every day, but it can happen over the course of the same day and can leave me a little confused and questioning myself.
I'm feeling confused and I'm questioning myself. So when you look at these two goals, there is a pull. That's what you're experiencing right now. What would you ideally like to experience?
Ideally, I would like to experience something that is more like a sense of flow, uh, where I'm very immersed in whatever I'm doing, and that is giving me energy. Uh, and I felt like this even at work on certain projects at certain times. Probably a little more frequently, definitely more frequently when I'm writing. Uh, or for example, I'm generally a lot of my writing is explaining something that I have figured out that is useful to others. So putting myself through that process is immersive and that is very enjoyable. Uh, just getting things done so that I'm ticking boxes is more pleasurable than enjoyable. Uh, so that is, I just want to get things done. So ideally, I would want to enjoy myself more. I would want to immerse myself. So and work, I want work to feel like play, and I want to feel like I don't have to discipline myself. That is happening almost automatically. I'm intrinsically driven. So that's what I would. That's the kind of life I would want to live.
So I'm hearing these words: flow, immersive, play, enjoy. Ticking the box is pleasure. Now, currently you are being pulled, asking questions and confused. Ideally, you want to be in a situation of in the flow, immersive, enjoying whatever you're doing and make it look like play for you.
Hmm.
So we've been in this conversation for about 10 minutes. In the remaining time that we have, what is that you would like to focus and take away from this conversation, which will give you the feeling that you had a very meaningful conversation today?
I would like to consider this same question that I'm posing, but in a new frame, in a frame that doesn't leave me confused, but uh, gives me clarity. And then I would like to sort of know what to do, because this question will keep coming up. And so I am hoping that I will have a new way to think about it, and I will know what to do when that happens.
So, new way of questioning and clarity is what I'm
Yeah,
hearing.
new way of thinking about the same question. Right now, I feel like, oh, this is in two separate directions, but maybe there's another way of looking at it uh, that is uh, not as not pulling me in both directions. And clarity to do that. Okay, I know that this is going to happen. When this happens, this is what I can do.
What will give you the feeling that we are moving towards that clarity in this conversation?
I don't know, but I'm thinking, for example, that these are not two completely different questions, but they are maybe two sides of the same coin. Uh, that and also maybe that this is reality for everyone because you haven't been on that path long enough, so you have a slightly distorted view of reality. Something like that could be uh, reassuring. Uh, and
What made you say distorted path of reality?
so I don't know if this made me say, but in the past I've I have heard others tell me, and I've also realized that I may be a little hung up on the path. I may be a little ideological. So, for example, I've been writing for some time now, but I always find it hard to market myself to. So, distribution has always been a challenge because that means I have to go and blow my own horn and put the word out. So, I sort of tend to default to creating more instead of distributing more of what I've already created. And I see others doing far better job and also I've gotten that advice. So in my head, maybe there is a belief that if the work is good, it will speak for itself or it will sell itself. And maybe that is not true. Maybe that was true, I don't know, 30, 40 years back when there was a lot less options for people. But now that's not the case. So you have to, I don't know, redistribute your effort between creation and distribution for the kind of stuff I do. So maybe that is what makes me think that, the belief the sense I have of the world is slightly off. That's not exactly what it is.
So from the current state of you not having clarity to the state where you want to walk away with some clarity, what are some beliefs that you are holding could perhaps help us get there?
One is that mastery is the source of power, in the sense that if you create something truly beautiful, and if you are highly skilled at it, you have power. Of course, what you create has to be useful to the world. Uh, but more often than not, my belief is that if it's truly beautiful, it will find its use. Like even a beautiful painting, it's not in terms of utility, it doesn't save life or do anything, but it adds something. It enriches people's life. So to that end, I do believe that pursuing mastery is worth it because it it is gives you that power. I don't know if I believe in it, but I'm hoping it's true that when you are pursuing mastery, you it's hard to have the end in mind, to begin with the end in mind. Uh, and sort of that the end will take care of itself if you follow the path, if you are true to whatever your craft that you are trying to master. Although, yeah, as I said, I don't know if I how strongly I believe in it. It's a hope that and it's something I want to cling on to because I haven't attained mastery in anything, so I can't really know what does the world look like, what do you feel like at that position.
Mastery is the source of power. When you said it, how did you feel?
No, I do really believe that. So, uh, I, I felt good. Yeah, I felt like the world is in the right place when I said that.
I also heard you say, I am not sure whether it's a belief, it's a hope. If your hope becomes real, how would your life change?
I think more than anything, it would give me permission to be true to myself, to not sort of question my own instincts, like and get in my own way. I will be my sort of cheerleader. You know what I mean? And it will be a lot easier to continue. It will sort of be a self-propagating thing, as opposed to if I'm constantly questioning myself and uh, then it becomes difficult. One, the process is not as enjoyable because my mind is drifting away to seeing that, okay, how much value have I extracted out of this 1 hour of writing, as opposed to I could have done X, Y, Z things. Uh, and two, I also end up learning a lot less. So it's like a double whammy. Uh, yeah, it would really, my life, it would free up my head. I think that's the only way I can be sure of that will happen. I can then get down to doing what I really enjoy doing instead of, second guessing myself.
I'll free up my head and then get down to doing what I really need to do and enjoy.
Mm.
Satyajit, we've been talking for a while so far. How has the conversation been for you so far?
I've been able to articulate it as clearly as I could, so that has been helpful. And this question that you asked about how my life would change, that is also sort of, yeah, makes me think that, okay, how do I get to that state of clarity, or rather, what is stopping me right now? Yeah.
And what is the answer you're getting for that question?
That hope that I spoke about, I'm beginning, a part of me tells me that there is no unchanging truth. Instead, you can shape your own reality. You could begin with the end in mind, or you could begin with whatever you have within your control and then chart out a path, even though you don't know what their destination is, what mastery looks like. And my concern until now has been that, oh, am I on the wrong path? Have I understood it all backward? Maybe that is not the problem here. Maybe there is no problem. A better way to think about it is probably believe in what you're doing and keep taking one step after the other. And that reality is whatever you make of it. So if I can get to that state where I'm not questioning myself and not second guessing, and I'm immersing myself in the pursuit of something that I think is worthwhile, I think automatically the path will be formed. Yeah.
How are you feeling when you're sharing that with me?
Yeah, it gives me energy. It makes me sort of, it's like a jolt.
I could sense something in my body, and that's the reason I asked that question. So far in the conversation, what are you learning, Satyajit?
I think the biggest thing is that my dilemma in my head was possibly because of a slightly uncorrected notion, which is that there is one way. And my questions to myself, are you on that way? And several times a day, several times a week. But instead of that, if I reframe it to maybe there is no one way, the way is what you make for yourself, then I can focus on, is it taking me closer to my goal? Like when I'm doing something, I would probably, that's a better question to ask. Is what I'm doing taking me closer to my goal? Uh, yeah.
And with this new learning that you shared right now, how is your life going to change from now onwards?
So at a thinking level, I think this is something I'll keep coming back to and I'll keep reminding myself that the way is what you make of it. At a doing level, I think I will have to structure my day where I know I'm pushing towards both goals. Because I know that if I only push towards one, I will not be creatively fulfilled or financially fulfilled. So I have to do both. But instead of second guessing, I hope to come back to this, that I'm making my own way. So I will approach it with curiosity instead of a sense of dread that, oh, have I lost track?
I will make my own way. And where do you want to start?
I think by not taking others more seriously uh, than necessary. I mean, because I feel that when you are setting out on a new path, and you hear stories of others, and now thanks to social media, your comparison set is the entire world. And then you take how they achieve their way, or take their way to be the to be the ground truth. So checking myself in that, and that could even be physically limiting myself to that kind of comparison, very instinctive comparison. That would be helpful, I feel. And taking away, instead channelizing that energy into my own pursuit. Uh, Almost feeling like I'm the only person in the world doing it. Uh, so I need not compare myself. I don't need to, be better. Uh, I can be the only one doing this.
And how does that make you feel when you share this?
I mean, I feel some relief to begin with, because all through your life, all through my life rather, you've constantly had to compare myself, whatever, get ranked, get into the best engineering college, best MBA, blah, 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 all those things. So it's a relief that, okay, you don't have to run that race. Uh, yeah, I mean, that's a big burden of.
So we are almost towards the end of the session, Satyajit. Where are we right now from what is that you wanted to take away from the session?
So I said sort of two things, that I want a new way of thinking, a new frame. Uh, and to me, that frame is that you make your own way. And I wanted clarity on what to do. I have some clarity on what not to do, which is, not compare myself. But what to do, I probably need to think about it. Uh, in the past, I've done a few things. Some of those things have worked, like structuring your days for like these hours a day I will devote to my business. These hours a day I'll devote to learning something like mastery in writing, and maybe sticking to that. Uh, yeah, so that's probably will be more about what to do.
So what we can do is, since we are running short of time, if you want, we can park this topic now and pick it up later, either one-on-one sometime next week, and have a conversation if you really want to do that. How would you like to summarize this entire conversation and close in less than 30 seconds?
Yeah, first of all, I would appreciate that the chance to sort of have follow-up conversation. Uh, this conversation has been, me just listening to myself has been helpful, in the sense that it has helped me shed the baggage of, expectations of others, or of what others' scorecard of me is like. This is others' definition of success is like. Uh, and that has given me the strength and sort of energy to pursue it my own way. So it has given me that clarity as well.
So, Vijit, I really want to appreciate the fact that you had the courage to put up your hand up and say, I want to be coached, and go into places that were very uncomfortable for you. Wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.